Hello, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Julie.
Now we're going to do a review of General Orders World War II by Osprey Games. This is for ages 14 and up. It takes about 30 minutes to play, and it's for 2 players, so it's player versus player. Hope you've had a chance to check out our how to play and playthrough. So first we will do an overview, then we'll give our rating, our reasons for our rating, and then we will compare it to some other 2-player games that you see behind you. So there's 2 sides to play. This is a symmetrical alpine board where each player starts out with the exact same position as the other player. Or you can play the island side, and we did not do this one on camera, but we did play it, and it turns out that the blue player has more troops, the yellow player is more spread out, and when you look at this side of the board here, the blue gets more planes. When they do a takeoff action, they'll reinforce more troops. So this is asymmetrical, where the blue player and the yellow player do not have the same, I guess you'd say, abilities. But we're going to talk about the alpine side, because this is the side that we did the how to play and playthrough video.
Yes, we did.
So the game is over in 4 rounds, and you flip this to see who will go first. So yellow would go first. Whoever has the most victory points after 4 rounds will win. You can see here these are spots with stars, and you'll count them up. Or if someone loses control of their HQ, which is here for the blue player and here for the yellow player. Now there's certain cards that you play with. You'll see here that on the upper right side you see the little alpine symbol. That tells you that you'll add these cards to the deck. And then here on the island side you'll see a little palm tree.
Oh, yeah.
So we do not have planes in the alpine side. I just have it out just to show you. We will not play with these cards. And then we'll shuffle these in. Now we'll start setting up here. Everywhere you see a dot, that spot gets 3 troops, because there's 3 dots there. So we're spreading them out like this. You can stack them. And hexes are limited to 5 troops at the most. And then you'll see there are spots that you can take that give extra abilities. So you mix these up. On the alpine board you play with this one here in green, but you won't play with that one on the island side. So you'll see there's little spots here to place these.
But you may not get the parachute, right? It doesn't automatically...
No, it's random, so we may not even get it anyway.
Okay.
Now the town center is only on this board.
Oh, okay.
So these, when you control these spots with troops, you get these advantages, which I'll explain to you here on the card. So you want to advance into those spots to control them. For instance, the top one, when you take a reinforce action, you get additional troops. You get +2. Forward base, that means when you advance into a spot, you'll get an additional troop from your reserves, which we have plenty of reserves here, right here. This tells you the things that you can get during the game. This is what adds, this is what makes it different than chess, is because you have some randomness, and you'll be fighting over these spots. Observer post, if you control that, you will roll an additional die. When you take a barrage action, you roll 2 dice, but this one will give you a +1 die. Recon, that means you'll take additional cards, 1 additional card. And signal, that means you'll have an additional command. If you do a paratroop drop, you'll add 1 additional troop. And town center, you'll roll an additional die on defense. So we each start out with 5 commanders. We have 4 in reserve, because if someone controls this, they'll get an additional commander. Julie would go first. You can take 1 reinforce action or 1 plan action during a round. So that means if Julie were to take this one, she can take 6 troops and spread them around into spots that she has access to her, that are in supply to her HQ. In other words, if this was cut off here, she could not put troops in here because it's not connected to her HQ.
Oh.
Okay. And again, this is why you got to go over these rules if you haven't played the game in a while.
So if I want to do that reinforce.
You can reinforce all these because they're all connected to your HQ.
Like that?
Right. And so what Julie will do is she's going to put them 6 off to the side here, and she can fill these spaces up to 5. And that's one action you can do. Now, if I were to do the other one, I'd only get 5. So there's an advantage to getting to a reinforce first before the other player. If you go here, you can get 2 cards. Now, if I were to do this one and take 2 cards, because this is what adds some of the luck into the game. This is pretty much straight up equal sides here. What adds variety? Well, if you do a combat, you can do 1 damage, and that's on 4 sides, or 2 damage on 1 side, or a blank and do no damage. So that's some of the randomness. Here you have cards where you can play the cards or re-roll all dice, or is it just 1 die? I think it's all dice. But it also gives you something that will trigger when you meet the condition. So it says right here, when taking a reinforce action. So if Julie, when she did that reinforce action, she could have played this card if she had it to add 2 additional troops.
Oh. So even if I had 5, I could still put 2 more in?
Yeah, you could have did 7. Actually, you did 6. You could have put 8 in.
Wow. Nice.
Here is an anti-air. Roll 2 additional dice. During the defense step of a land conflict, your opponent initiated by taking a paratroop drop action. So that tells you how cards can modify things. How do you take these actions? Julie did a reinforce, and let's say I did 2 cards. Okay. Now, if I want to advance into a spot, I have to place my commander right here, and then I just move in. You always have to leave somebody behind. And now I have 2 victory points.
Wouldn't it be my turn first?
Yes, it would be your turn. So let's say I didn't take the card action. I did that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now Julie could not advance into here because I've already gone into there. But if she had a counterattack card, or she can do, where is it? Counterattack. She did the counterattack card. She could remove my commander, put her commander in there, and now go into there. So that's where cards can do things. So she'd want to put at least 4 in there, because I get at least 1 die on defense. Now I might have a card where I get to roll an additional die, but in this case it's normally just one die, so she loses 1 troop. And now we do a even trade-off, 1 for 1. So we both lose 1. She's still there, we both lose 1, so she took it. She lost 2 and I lost 3. And now she controls it. So I would lose my additional commander because I lost that special power, and then she would get an additional commander now that she took it over. Paratroop drop, you have to, I can paratroop drop into any location I want. And there's a nice little rule book here that tells you when things can happen. And if it's, you see the pink, that's for the island side.
Ah.
So if I look at paratroop drop, it says right here, in this box, what are the conditions to make a paratroop drop happen? You have to match your faction color, and you control and supply the linked area. So if I really wanted to paratroop drop into here, I control and supply this area, because it's my HQ. So if I want to paratroop drop into here, I could, and take that. If I go into here, Julie rolls, you roll a die for combat, and she lost 1, I lost 1, and now we do an even trade, so she lost control of that, and she would have to give up her command. So that's one thing you can do, is do a paratroop drop. You can also just do a paratroop drop just to reinforce. So say I was in the town center, and I just wanted to paratroop drop 2 more guys in there, I can do that.
Even if your tall guy isn't in the square?
Right.
Okay.
So, if you do a barrage, you can hit a zone up to 3 spaces away. So, 1, 2, 3, I'd roll 2 dice into that spot. She loses 2 troops into her reserve. If you notice, when I did the paratroop drop, I didn't mention this, I took those troops out of my reserve. Mm. When you do an advance action, let's say Julie does control this, you can take troops from adjacent territories that you supply. These are all in supply because I can trace it to my HQ. Let's say there was a situation like this. I don't control this anymore. I lost it.
Oh, but aren't you
Oh
connected
yeah, I am
there?
connected through there. That's right. So, let's say it was a situation like that. I cannot advance. Well, first off, I can't advance in there if Julie's already advanced in there.
Oh.
But if Julie wasn't in there, I could advance into there. I can't even advance into there because I can't do a supply to my HQ.
Oh.
See? So I would have to at least control this spot And if I do, I can move, because it's all in supply, I can move 2. And these 2 if I want. You always have to leave 1. Julie will roll her 1 die. Go ahead. I lost 2. We do an even trade. And I lost 3 guys taking that. And that's what you do. You spend all your commanders, and we start out with 5 unless you get a spot where it adds 1, or you play a card that adds 1. Whoever has the most victory points at the end of 4 rounds wins, or if somebody loses control of their HQ. When you watch the How to Play and Playthrough, Julie loses control of it, and which means I was able to win. And so if I were to take the spot, I cannot use Julie's artillery. That's why it says it has to be in your own color. And I also, and this says right here, you can't do a parachute drop into that area.
Oh, interesting.
Now on the other side, just want to know real quick, you have air zones, and now if you control the air zone, and what color is that? Say Julie controls this.
It's so confusing.
And I want to advance into there. Okay. I advance into there, and because she has control of the air in this area, you see how this is pink, and this whole area here is pink. Because she has control, she gets to roll 2 dice for defense. So this would be a bad move for me to go in there with only 2 guys. She would roll 2 dice for defense, and I wouldn't even survive. Now, say she did not have her airplanes there, she'd only get 1 die for defense. But even then, that's not a good attack for me to do, because we're still going to do an even trade. She would lose control of it, though.
Yeah.
So air defense allows you to roll extra dice for on defense on an advancement when you're advancing. It also, you can fight planes directly from zone to zone. So the pink zone, for instance, could fight into the blue zone here. So say I had some planes here. Okay. You could also use your planes to bomb. So let's say I did. Even though I control all the land here, Julia controls the air. She can assign 2 planes to attack me here. She would roll 2 dice, so go ahead. She's bombing me. The planes go in her reserve, and so that's one thing you can do with planes too. And you can take an action. You can do a flight action to move planes, for instance, from the yellow zone into the pink zone. So you could bomb with planes. They give support when somebody advances with ground units. That gives them extra dice for defense. So that's how it works on the other side. It adds that airplane mode. So that gives you an idea that it's very much a worker placement.
It's hard.
Hard for you to understand all the strategies. So it's a worker placement game that's a little bit what they call tug of war. Tug of war with some area control. So let's take a look at how we rate it. So we both said 6.
Wow.
We'll play if in the mood.
I didn't know you'd say 6.
Right, and we'll give our reasons. Now let me go, before you turn this video off, let me explain why. This is a solid worker placement, thematic, abstract strategy game with some luck. It's abstract because it's not simulating World War II exactly. This Alpine board is not based, or the island board is not based on any specific battle. It's simulating it, okay? So if you're expecting that this is the Battle of Midway, or this is the Battle of somewhere in Italy, it's only simulating it, okay? Midway was on the ocean, but if it's Iwo Jima, for instance, okay, it's not exactly that.
Okay.
So there are symmetrical and asymmetrical options as a plus. We didn't know. I was first going to give a negative that, hey, it's very much like chess. It's very symmetrical. But I said to Julie, we need to play the other side before we do a review. So this is asymmetrical. That's definitely a plus. That the sides are not even on the island side. Quality pieces of art, especially for the price point. When we bought this at Gen Con, I think it was only $35.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
There's a lot of game here.
Yeah.
And again, we still haven't gotten to why we're rating it a 6. Some people would be like, this is my type of game. That's basically why we're rating a 6. It's a well-crafted rule set. However, it needed more examples. So every word in this rule book matters. It's one of those rule books that it's concise. It's well laid out, except it would have been easier to grasp if it would have given more examples. So for someone who's not used to reading concise rule books where every word matters, there's no fluff here. You got to read it very carefully. In fact, the first time we played some rules wrong. I said, I don't think we're doing that right, and I had to reread it. Okay. Adding more examples would make this more accessible.
Sure.
Okay. It's not a war simulation, and so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. It is a very thematic, abstract game. Now, here's a negative. It's a player versus player, which we have games like that, but the more experience will dominate. So why it's a 6? Well, because Julia's the main person I play games with. It's not going to be fun for me to play games where she always loses them. And although she did win the island side,
Because he helped me.
that's because I was helping her understand what to do. Now, if we were to play it again with me not helping her, I probably would win 9 out of 10 times.
Oh, yeah, he would. I don't even remember what he did to help me. So, yeah,
Right.
he would so win.
So this is why it's a 6, because I know I can't play this that often with Julie. Now, with other people, yes, who want to play, who are into, or compare it to the games behind us, who are into player versus player conflict, they're going to enjoy this,
Yeah.
and they might play this a lot because of that. But because of who I have available to play games with that often, I know that I won't be picking this out, because there's no fun to play a game where the other player is not having a good time.
No.
Okay, and that's because I'm more experienced in these games and I will dominate. Plus, this plays quickly. Now, say if my brother Ed was still with us, I might rate this an 8.
Oh, he would love this.
But I don't know how often he would want to play it.
Well, I think your brother John would like this too.
Well, again, we would play it every now and then.
Yeah.
Okay, but we'd rather play Squad Leader, or we'd rather play other war games.
And I would not want to play any of those.
That's the thing about this, is that because it's an abstract game that plays quickly, it doesn't have as much. It's a cool game. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
How often would I play this with one of my brothers? We play it, but then we might want to play something that's more.
Meaty.
Has more. Maybe that's more of a simulation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those games in a weird position. It's quick. It works. And if you're willing, and if someone is you can play it with competitively, you're probably gonna love it. But then you might. How often will you play it? But at least it's only a small price point.
Right.
Okay. So let's say what you had to say.
Not as much as you. It's a military type worker placement game. I think the components are nice. The 2 different sides to the board add replayability. Definitely favors those who can plan ahead, which is not me.
Yeah, we come up with these things separately.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it takes a few playthroughs to understand the cards and gameplay, and I'm still like struggling. And we've played it 3 times.
No, we played it 5 times.
Is it 5 times? And he still has to help me with things.
Remember what I said? When we first played it, it took a couple times to make sure we're playing all the rules correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's because of the rule book not having enough examples. If it would have had a round playthrough,
Yeah.
I'd have been like, okay, cool, I got it. But then they needed to have a round playthrough for the Alpine side versus the air side.
Sure. That makes sense.
So just keep in mind, there's nothing wrong with this game. You just have to ask yourself, how often are you going to play it, given the people that you have available to play it with, and then you compare it to other war games, or other 2-player games.
The 2-player games.
Where does this fall, and how often you're going to play it?
Not at all.
Okay, we enjoyed it. Okay. It's
Oh, yeah, I had fun.
Yeah, I had fun. But I just know that if I bring it out to the table,
He'd be playing 2 people, pretty much.
well,
I would
I'd
do
have
okay,
to reteach. I'd have to reteach it to you again, so we'd be playing together.
Yeah.
Now, if it had a cooperative mode,
Oh, that'd be great.
yeah, if it had, that we would be playing it a
That
ton.
would be awesome.
So let's compare it to some other 2-player games here.
Okay.
So we haven't played this in a while because, again, this is a game that I will dominate. This is an abstract strategy game where it's got the visual spatial stuff in it like chess. And so if you can think ahead with the moves, and if you don't know what this game looks like,
It's really pretty.
it's got cool pieces, but we
Yeah.
haven't played this in over probably 2 years. Because,
It's no
again,
fun.
I will dominate that game. Now, Julie loves this game. It's a race game with a certain amount of luck, where you're playing cards to get around the board before to get your raven there before another player does.
I do okay with this one.
Yeah, but you've won this one.
I won this one.
But again, there's not a lot of. There's more luck in this game
Yeah.
than there is
And
strategy.
that's what I need is luck and strategy.
And you're able to handle the amount of strategy that there is in this game.
Yeah.
And that's a lighter game. Rose King, I will win this more often than not, but you don't mind playing this one. It's an
No, I
area
don't.
control game.
I don't, but I lose pretty much 9 out of 10 times. Which is okay though. I love it. It's just
But
a fun game.
this is more accessible for you because of the rule set.
Yep.
Now the one that I don't think you've ever beaten me is Battle Line.
Oh, never. Ugh.
This is direct, and so I haven't picked this in a while because I feel bad. Every time we play, I beat you.
I don't even want to look at it.
Yeah, exactly. So it brings back.
PTSD.
This is a solid, poker style player versus player game where you're trying to win so many lines. Does it even include a visual of what it looks like? Yeah, you have this many here, right here, and you're playing cards, and the cards is like poker hands. And the problem is, Julie has a hard time deciding how to play her poker hands.
Yep.
Now,
Sure.
Raptor is a player versus player game. The reason why we'll play this one, and we still do, is because I'll give Julie the Raptors, which are easier to play.
Yes, and I like that.
So the Raptors have an advantage, at least in this edition.
I still lose though. I've
No.
won, I think, a couple times.
No, I don't mind playing this one with you because I will play the harder side.
Yeah. And I like being the dinosaurs.
So that's a game we will play
Yep.
because of that. Because Julie can be competitive in that game.
Yeah, I like the dinosaurs.
No, we haven't played this in a while. There's nothing wrong with the game. This is a deduction two-player game.
It's so hard.
So I don't remember which side you liked to play,
I don't remember. It's been so long.
but you did enjoy this game.
I did, because I love Phantom of the Opera. It's
Right.
one of my favorite
Now, the
operas.
game that Julie will never play with me again.
Nope.
I love this game, especially being a history teacher, but there's just too much going on in here for Julie to be competitive.
It's bananas. Look at that. That is just nuts.
Right. So for those of you who love Twilight Struggle, I have nobody to play this with. Only one son would play this with me.
Our
but-
oldest.
Yes. And obviously this is simpler. Okay,
Yeah.
General Orders is a lot simpler. But some people may be like, there's not enough going on in General Orders
So
compared to Twilight Struggle.
It's true.
But if you don't have a lot of time, you'll play General Orders.
Yeah.
But the reason why people play Twilight Struggle because it is so in depth. Okay, the game that we do love playing is Seven Wonders Duel.
Yeah, it is fun.
And there's not a lot of direct player conflicts. You're racing to get things before the other player.
Right.
But this is fun because to score the most victory points.
It is fun. And there's no take that either, which I like.
There's a little bit with the combat. Remember if you can dominate.
Right.
And you can get victory points for that, and you can lose victory points. So there's a little bit there,
True.
but it's more of a race game of getting things in that tableau before another
That's a
player
good one.
does.
I like that one a lot.
So the ones that Julie liked the most,
Oh, those two. Oh, and Odin's Ravens.
Odin's Ravens,
Yep. Those are my
Okay.
3 go-tos for 2 players.
for two-player, and she doesn't mind this. It's just
Nope.
she's not going to be competitive.
Nope.
So if there was a cooperative mode of this, she would be all over that.
I would. Very much so.
All right. Well, thanks for watching.
Thanks so much, you guys. I hope you had fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.